Loneliness isn't always quiet. It screams in spaces where laughter used to live. Every day, Elliot Blake sat in the same corner of the Old Town Library, pretending to read while the world passed him by. At 29, his only friend was a worn-out chair and a daily cup of instant coffee that tasted like the dust on the shelves. The silence was his only companion, until a handwritten note slipped between the pages of a book changed everything. Elliot wasn't always this way. He had once been loud, passionate, the kind of person who would stay up all night debating philosophy, who organized game nights for neighbors, who remembered birthdays of people he barely knew, but life chipped away at him. First the death of his father, then his best friend moving across the world, followed by the slow, suffocating drift of every human connection, a failed startup, and with it, a failed self-worth. Elliot withdrew like a hermit, convincing himself people were overrated. He worked remotely as a freelance copy editor, answering emails with robotic courtesy. He avoided calls. He ghosted group chats. He made up excuses to skip weddings and reunions. Soon, even the excuses stopped. No one checked in anymore. And yet, he visited the library each day. There was comfort in routine, in the presence of people who didn't expect anything from him. Librarians who smiled politely. Strangers whispering stories across pages. A living museum of quiet humanity. Elliot pretended to read while watching lives unfold from afar, until one Tuesday morning, between the pages of a dusty, unmarked novel titled Rooms We Never Enter, a folded note fell into his lap. In a delicate, cursive hand, it read, "To the person who sits here often, I see you. You matter." Elliot stared at the note like it was radioactive. Someone saw him? Who? Why? His heart thudded as he looked around. A teenage girl skimming through cookbooks. An elderly man scribbling on crossword puzzles. A young mother reading to her son. No one was looking at him. The next day, he returned early. The book was still there. He opened it cautiously. Another note. "I know how hard loneliness can feel. I've been there too." And another the day after. "If you want to talk, write back. Leave your message inside this book." For the first time in years, Elliot's fingers trembled. Not from anxiety, but hope. He wrote back, "I'm Elliot. I'm not sure what I'm doing, but thank you." And so began a secret exchange. Each day, he and the mysterious stranger wrote more. About pain, about books, about memories they never told anyone else. Elliot learned his pen pal went by the initials R. They didn't give away their age or job. Only said they visited the library almost every day, too. It was like therapy, but without judgment. For the first time in years, Elliot smiled without irony. But then, the note stopped. A week passed. 2. Elliot reread the last note obsessively. "You remind me what it means to be seen. But I'm leaving soon. Thank you for saving me more than you know." Who are they? Why leave? He tried asking the librarians, but they didn't know who R was. Frustrated, Elliot began asking regulars in awkward, whispered conversations. Nobody admitted anything. He even wrote an open letter and left in the book. "Please don't go. I need to know who you are." But the next day, the book was gone. In its place was a small envelope taped to the chair. "Elliot, look up for once. Maybe you'll find what you're missing." That was it. Elliot stood up for the first time in hours and did as the note said. That's when he noticed her. A girl in her 20s, pale blue scarf, always alone. She had sat near the window every day, but Elliot had never really seen her. She caught his eye and smiled. Elliot approached her. Are you R? She looked surprised, then laughed gently. "No, but I know who is." She handed him a folded note, already prepared. He opened it with shaking hands. "Elliot, I watched you disappear. I was a librarian who used to greet you by name when you first came here. I wrote the first note because you looked like someone trying to vanish, but you came back to life. That's all I ever hoped for." Elliot's heart broke in the best way. The head librarian, Ms. Rowan, a quiet, middle-aged woman who had recently passed away after a sudden illness. She had left no family behind. Except, maybe, Elliot realized she had left him. The woman in the blue scarf continued, She left that letter with me a month ago. Said I'd know when to give it to you. Elliot didn't return to the library to hide anymore. He started a book club. At first, just 2 people showed up, the girl with the blue scarf, her name was Mira, and the elderly man from before. Then 5, then 10. He began volunteering for local reading programs, hosting community game nights again. Slowly, he rebuilt a world of connections, real ones, not to fix loneliness with noise, but to sit with others in silence too, and know they were together. 1 year later, on the anniversary of Ms. Rowan's death, Elliot donated a shelf to the library. He called it the Whisper Shelf. In each book, visitors could leave anonymous letters, words of hope, kindness, or just a simple, "I see you." Loneliness isn't cured by crowds. It's healed through connection, quiet, intentional, and real. Elliot thought he needed people to notice him. What he truly needed was to be seen. And through the kindness of someone else's silent bravery, he found the courage to step back into the light.